Shalom, shalom. This is SOT-𐤉𤒄𐄉𝐄 with Sons of Thunder. I want to say shalom, Yahweh Shem Shai, Brakathum to the Adiwanium, the Akim that may be watching this, and anyone in Israel scattered abroad that finds this video. Shalom to the Patreon family once again, here with another video today. And the video's going to be about enduring temptation. And we're going to be looking at how Yahweh endured temptation, right? What we first got to understand is, Yahweh, though he has the spirit without measure, he is in the same sinful flesh of us all. But he was able to overcome that thing. And just as we are followers of Yahweh and following after his footsteps and have that faith in Yahweh, we can do that too. This is my first precept, the book of Hebrews, chapter 4 and verse 14. Seeing then that we have a great high priest that is passed into heaven, Jesus, Son of God, let us hold fast our profession. For we have not a high priest which cannot be touched with the feelings of our infirmities, but was in all points tempted like as we are, yet without sin. So something that, recently that Adawan touched on is, just even though we see in the scriptures, that major account of when Satan came to Christ, which you got to realize Christ was tempted the same way we are, meaning it's an everyday temptation thing. He didn't just deal with Satan that one time and Satan never messed with him again, right? And I'm going to show you another time Satan came at him and how he handled it. In the account I'm talking about, after he fasted for 40 days and 40 nights, most people know that, he combated Satan with scriptures, right? And that's what you got to do. You got to combat Satan with scriptures. But you got to move how Yahweh move. And I want to look at another account when Satan came at him and showing how Yahweh moves in dealing with that temptation, right? Because Christ, he was just like you and me. He was the greatest of us all, right? But where he started from, he started the same way any of us could have started. Out of the womb, just as a regular dude, as a regular man. But he, even though he came in the same way I am, he was able to overcome that, right? He was tempted like we are, yet without sin. So that means that if Christ can do it, you can do it. But let's see how Christ did it, right? Let's see how Christ did it. And the account I'm going to get today is in the book of Matthew, chapter 16, and I'm going to say verse 15. I'm going to start at verse 14, right? And it reads, verse 13. When Yahweh came into the coast of Syria, Philippi, he asked his disciples, saying, whom do men say that I, the Son of Man, am? And they said, some say that thou art John the Baptist, some say Elias, and others Jeremiah, or one of the prophets. He saith unto them, but whom say ye that I am? So he's testing the disciples in this account. He's asking them, who do y'all think I am? Because of course, some people, they have said, Yahweh. We understand that as Israelites, we go through a regeneration. And, some think that Yahweh could be a regeneration of a former prophet come back into the earth, And so Yahweh is now asking the disciples, like, yeah, who do you think I am, right? Because the people think they know who I am, but who do y'all think I am? Verse 16. And Simon Peter answered and said, thou art the Christ, the Son of the living God. So Simon Peter, when they were asked, Simon Peter, he knew he was the Christ. He was the Messiah, the Messiah that was prophesied to come and save our people up out of our captivity, up out of our sins and our transgressions and our ways, bring us back to the Most High, the one that would mend the northern kingdom and southern kingdom and bring them back together, the one to save Israel. That's who, Peter knew him to be. And this is what Yahushua said, verse 17. And Jesus answered and said unto him, Blessed art thou, Simon Bar-Jonah, for flesh and blood have not revealed it unto thee, but thy Father which in heaven. And I say also unto thee that thou art Peter, and upon this rock I will build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. And I will give unto thee the keys of the kingdom, and whatsoever thou shalt bind on earth shall be bound in heaven, and whatsoever thou shalt loose on earth shall be loosened in heaven. Right? So after he gave that answer, he blessed Simon. He blessed Peter. He blessed Simon Peter, right? And he praised him and he gave him that blessing, right? Reading on, verse 20. Then charged he his disciples that they should tell no man that he was Jesus the Christ. From that time forth began Jesus to show unto his disciples how that he must go unto Jerusalem and suffer many things of the elders and chief and priests and scribes, and be killed, and be raised again the third day. So after he's asked this question, he's shown the disciples how he has to go die for the nation. Like they see how he is the Christ and how he has to go die for the nation now, right? And so this is where Satan comes in, right? And you're going to see this. This is where Satan comes in. In your temptation, Satan does not play fair. Everything will go right. Everything will go smooth. Everything will look perfect. And he'll send people in your life that are in the spirit. But sometimes, just sometimes, Satan can use them. Verse 23. And it says, I skipped the verse. Let me go back to verse 22. Verse 22. Then Peter took him and began to rebuke him, saying, Be it far from thee, Lord, this shall not be unto thee. So Peter, right? Peter's hearing how Yahushua gotta die for the nation. He hears how he has to suffer for the people, and he's like, nah, you don't gotta do all that, Yahushua. Like, you don't gotta do that, Lord. I love you, Lord. I don't want you to have to go through that. Like, you don't gotta do that. But this is what Yahushua said to Peter. Check this out. But he turned and said to Peter, Get thee behind me, Satan. Thou art an offense unto me, for thou savorest not the things that be of God, but those that be of men. So just think about it, right? In that moment, say you Yahushua, you telling your brothers you gotta die for the nation, you gotta go serve the Lord, you gotta make sure you gotta suffer and you gotta die and rise again. You got to do these things. And now your brother's telling, nah, bro, you don't got to do that. You don't got, that is Satan, man. And that is in good intentions. Sometimes those temptations come from the right people with good intentions. But ultimately, it's not of God. But you got to be able to discern that and make sure that you're moving like Yahushua is moving. Making sure you're moving in the spirit and realizing what it is you must do no matter what. Christ has to die. And so for Peter, who he just blessed, now to go ahead and I'm not bashing Peter at all. This is a mighty brother. That's the outer one. Okay, I'm going to say that as an underline. I'm just using this as a teaching method. But Peter, who he just blessed, the rock of the church, Now saying, Yahushua, you don't got to die for, like, you don't, it's far from thee, Lord. Like, no, you don't got to do that. That's of Satan. You know, and that he has to do it. And now that's tempting Yahushua to say, Yahushua, you don't got to do that. What if Yahushua was like, you know what? You know, yeah, man, you're right. I'm doing too much. Let me not do that. Like, I'll heal the people, but they'll be all right. I ain't gonna die for them. Guess what? We all finished. That's why he knew it was of Satan. And sometimes when those temptations come, we gotta discern, you know, whether or not is this truly good for me? Is this playing into my temptations? Is this gonna take me into something else? Because sometimes there are things that we think we can handle, things that we think we can do, and things that look okay, but underlying, it ultimately is a temptation waiting for us. And if we don't be spiritual and discern these things, we could fall to it. But what we got to do when we notice it is do as Yahushua did. He told Satan to get behind him. He cut it immediately. He didn't have any part in it. He did not allow that, like, you. I'm going to give you an example, right? Say for instance, it is a sin to eat on, you know, actually, yeah. Say it's Day of Atonement. I'm going to just, since Day of Atonement passed, I'm going to just use Day of Atonement as it. Say it's Day of Atonement, right? Why would if on Day of Atonement, instead of going ahead and sitting in the Word, sitting on class, sitting on, you know, in the scriptures, instead of that, you know, you think, oh, I'll just go for a walk. And in the midst of that, you think a walk is just fine, right? But say you go for it, now you realize everybody's barbecuing. You see a pie sitting on the windowsill. I stay out in the country sometimes, so that is not a rare occurrence, you know. See a pie on the windowsill, or you walk up the street, now you see that favorite restaurant you always go to, you know. You start smelling some good food. Like, you'll just be sitting outside, you smelling some good food. You went for a walk and now you smelling stuff. And it don't seem like much. You're like, oh, it's just I'm smelling stuff. No, that is Satan tempting you. It's the Day of Atonement. You're not supposed to be eating food or drink. And now you smelling food. Now you smelling food, and that smelling food leads you to pull out your phone. Now you looking at food videos. And now you doing this with your lips, like you licking your lips, thinking about it. Maybe it's starting to get hungry, and then you're like, maybe I'll get, you know, I just look at what I got in the refrigerator after the feast, and now you slowly tempting yourself. But all it started with was just a walk outside, a harmless walk. You didn't think a harmless walk could lead to something so big. Sometimes even just a harmless walk. Your mind wandering even to do something other than the scriptures. There's no sin in taking a walk, right? But on the Day of Atonement, you should be focused in and keyed in on this word. You should be focused, fasting and pray, focused on the Most High, trying to get whatever things, spirits, things that you have done that are the sins that are weighing you down, the things that are playing your mind like, damn, I did that. I shouldn't have done it. I knew better. I didn't do better. And, you know, I really want the Most High to forgive me. And I'm trying, like, that's what you should be focusing on. You should be afflicting yourself, you know, not beating yourself up, but afflicting yourself, reflecting on yourself, changing yourself, not going for a walk like just to pass the time, you know. But it seems so harmless, but then it's all these little small things that add up, and that then takes you to that temptation. And just like with Peter, Christ just finished blessing Peter. And now he's rebuking Peter and calling him Satan. Just like that. And Peter's intentions, They're good. He don't want Yahushua to die. You don't want Yahushua to suffer. I wouldn't want my brother to suffer. But ultimately, that's that little small, if it can lead to now Yahushua don't want to die for the nation. And now Yahushua hasn't died for the nation. Now everyone is in sin. The world is left in wickedness and desolation. And Yahweh, I know not what he would do. But I know he would not leave the wicked unpunished. That's for damn sure. Everyone would be destroyed, probably. But honestly, that's why when sin comes about, you got to cut it like that. Don't even give it a chance to start. Like, if be keyed in and focused on every single thing that you're doing, right? And deny yourself, man. Verse 24. Then Then said Yahushua unto his disciples, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. That is the purpose of a fast. That is the purpose of a fast, to deny yourself, right? And not only that, that is enduring temptation. You got to deny yourself. It is a temptation to the way you fight temptation is denying that temptation. The scriptures say, resist the devil and he flee, man. You got to deny that temptation. Like, you like looking at that adult site. You like going across the way over to Mrs. Jones' house. You like sneaking that pepperoni pizza. I only do it once a month. It's a cheat day. You like eating them pepperoni pizzas. Okay? I see you. Don't think you slick. I know you like hating your brother in your heart. For you sisters, I know you like creating problems and drama and having to, now we gotta fix this problem that I created because it's a problem I made. It got out of hand and now I have all this drama and all this other did that and the third, all that. Y'all gotta deny yourselves from going into ways other than following after Yahushua. That's how you endure the temptation. And Yahushua, what did he do? He denied Satan and denied himself in that moment. Because Yahushua could have said to Peter instead of rebuking, because Peter was rebuking him, he said, nah, said, be it far from thee, Lord. Like, you ain't got to do that. Like, nah, Lord, you don't have to do that. You're good. No, but he said, get behind thee, Satan. He didn't even give a second thought to it. He shut it down. Right? He denied himself, because if he had agreed to the rebuke of Peter, he could have said, yeah, it's far from me. I'm not wicked. And why must I die for the wicked? Like, why? Yeah, you're right, Peter. You're right. And now, guess what? Now all of us are finished. But he denied himself. He denied Satan, because he would not let that spirit of Satan get to him or on him. And he rebuked it out of Peter. So any man in this day and age, be as Yahushua, man. He was in the same flesh we was in. He denied himself. He denied Satan. And that's what we got to do. To deny Satan is deny yourself. And follow after Christ. You got to pick up that cross. It's hard, sin and temptation. But that's what the Day of Atonement is a great example of. Temptation. On Day of Atonement, like in a fast, that is you exercising endurance. And that is denying yourself. And in those moments when you're denying yourself, you got to make sure now you're following after Christ. Verse 25. For whosoever will save his life shall lose it. And whosoever will lose his life for my sake shall find it. For what is a man's Salakia. For what is a man profited if he shall gain the whole world, and lose his own soul? Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul? Salakia. For the Son of Man shall come in glory of his Father, which is with his angels, and then he shall reward every man according to his works. Yahushua is going to reward you according to his works. And every time you fall into that temptation, every time you look that way, every time that thought pops in your head and you start, it's pulling at you. It's like, it's that temptation is like tapping you on the shoulders, just pulling at you. And you start going that way, even just like tiptoeing that way. You know you're not supposed to. Yahushua is going to reward you according to that. And reward means, he may reward you with riches, or he's going to reward you with the sword, man. So you got to make sure you choose which reward you want, because you got to understand that those ways are of the world. And he just said, what profit is a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul? And you're not really gaining the whole world for real if you're going into all those different diverse lusts. You're losing a world, and then you're not even gaining really anything from it. It's all in vain. But you're losing your soul. And not only that, you're losing your life. But that's why through temptation, we got to be like Yahushua. We got to deny ourselves. We got to follow after him in the word. And we got to make sure that when that temptation comes in your mind, you got to cut it quick. You can't let it fester. If you let it fester, it's going to grow. It's going to become a problem. It's going to be just building up. It's going to build pressure, and at some point, it's going to explode. That's how it is. It just keeps building up, and then it explodes. But you got to cut it quick, and don't give Satan the chance, y'all. But, I'm SOT-𐤉𤒄𐤄𤒄𐄗. I hope this lesson was edifying, man. Peace, love, and blessings to Israel. Shalom.